Hi, I'm Lucy Fitzgerald, and I'm here in Washington, D.C. in front of the Supreme Court building with Andrew Hope, a court clerk, who's going to talk to us a little bit today about the Supreme Court and the judicial system of the United States. Good morning, Andrew.
The judicial systems of the United States is made up of many levels of courts. The highest level of these is the Supreme Court.
Well, who currently leads our Supreme Court?
Our current Supreme Court has one Chief Justice, John G. Roberts. He was nominated in 2007 by President George W. Bush.
One of the assistant or associate judges is Sonia Sotomayor. Can you tell me a little bit about her?
She is the first Latina Supreme Court Justice. She was nominated by President Obama in 2009.
Another of our associate judges, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, how about her?
She is the second woman ever nominated to the court by President Clinton in 1993.
Then we have Justice Elena Kagan. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
She was the first woman to serve as Solicitor General. She is the fourth woman appointed to the courts.
Well, who do we have next?
Clarence Thomas. Is the second African American to serve on the court. He was appointed in 1991 by President George H.W. Bush.
Then we have Antonin Scalia.
He was nominated in 1886 by President Ronald Reagan. He was born in Trenton, New Jersey, to a Sicilian-born father and a first-generation Italian-American schoolteacher.
Who's next, Andrew?
Anthony Kennedy. President Reagan nominated him in 1988. He spent time on several panels and committees related to codes and conduct before taking his position.
Well, who do we have next?
Next is Samuel A. Alito. He was appointed in 1994 by President Clinton after spending several years on the U.S. Court of Appeals.
Then we have Stephen Breyer.
He was a lawyer for the prosecution during Watergate. He was a professor of law at Harvard. He was also the chief judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit from 1990 to 1994. He was appointed in 1994 by President Clinton.
Well, that takes us from one Chief Justice to 8 associate judges. Can you tell us how the justices get their positions on the Supreme Court?
All justices on the Supreme Court are nominated by the current president. They only take their seat if the Senate approves them.
Well, how long do they stay on the court?
They hold their seat for as long as they live, or they decide to retire. They may be asked to step down if they do something to deserve it.
Why?
The Constitution states that judges of the Supreme Court and the lesser courts shall hold their offices during good behavior and will receive compensation for their services that shall not be diminished during their time in the position.
When does the session or term begin?
The term or the calendar year for the court starts on the first Monday in October and lasts until the first Monday in October of the following year.
How many cases or petitions are brought to the Supreme Court in a term?
Each term there are approximately 1 10,000
Petition.
petitions filed.
So 10,000 petitions filed. Wow. What kind of support staff does the Supreme Court have? And what are the hiring processes?
The Supreme Court has many people on their support staff. There are court officers, librarians, curators, clerks, and marshal. They are all appointed by the Chief Justice with input from the Associate Justices.
Well, where is the Supreme Court located?
It is located at the 1st Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew. It's been a pleasure speaking with you about our Supreme Court.